Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? Today we got a special surprise. If you notice, if you're watching this, we have none other than the 49ers, kind of termed already, favorite draft pick. Everybody loves this guy. CJ West, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. It's wonderful and an honor to be here and be a part of the faithful group.
Man, I gotta say, you have caught social media by storm. You're doing a workout and you're wearing this t-shirt. It says, "I hate quarterbacks," man. Will you talk to us a little bit, because everybody's enamored with this? Is there a way they could get that shirt? I've got that question asked so many times.
Yeah, for sure. That kind of started off back in high school. I was working out with my D-line trainer and stuff like that, and that was our mantra when we came in to train. It's like, this is what we stand by. We are their biggest fear, and we want to hunt them down to the ends of the earth. So we started wearing those shirts. Yeah, I definitely would love to promote that. I'm kind of in the works of trying to get those shirts out, be able to get some people some of those shirts. I know everybody's been loving them. So, but yeah, that's my mantra. That's what I stand by. I hate quarterbacks, man.
Well, we're not going to send one to Brock Purdy because he's now on your side.
Except Brock and my guy Kurt. My guy Kurt. I love them. I love them dearly.
So let's. My number one thing whenever I watch your tape, CJ, you seem like you hate being blocked. Like, you have a lot of very positive skill sets. We'll jump into some of those. But when you get double team, triple teams, you just seem like you are offended anytime somebody tries to block you for longer than a count or anything. Walk us through just kind of your vision, your mindset when that play happens and it's duo or a combo block coming your way. What goes through your mindset?
First off, I like you said, I get offended when somebody thinks they can block me. Yeah, it's very offensive because you're trying to stop me from doing what I need to do, and I'm just not going to let that happen. So that's really my mindset coming in that. And I mean, first, I just started off with violence. Like, if you watch my film, I'm a violent player. I love the violence of the game. That's what I'm here for. I love just punching people in the mouth and kind of, making them feel like rough and tough the entire game. By the end of the game, I want to see them breathing hard and all beat up. Like, that's my goal. I love that part of the game. So, but yeah, I get offended by people trying to block me. So I just won't let that happen.
So, okay, you're going against the center. It seems like whenever you go against the center, man, you're punched to the chest. You always see the helmet pop up off tape, which I love. How do you know whenever you're in that space, you're in the center of the guard's headspace and they're just tired? It's third quarter. What are the signs that you're looking for? Okay, now I got this guy.
Yeah. First off, you can see it in the eyes, man. Like, once they put that ball down there and they're doing their points, they're IDing the mic. Like, you see in the eyes, they're not ready for this next snap. That's one thing I noticed a lot. They're not ready for it. Um, and it's just like you can just slowly feel how much slower they want to come off the ball. In the first game, beginning game, they want to come off aggressive and try to get you first. But once you start really punching into them, they just want to absorb the contact, and that's when I know it's they're not ready for this. They're not ready for the violence that I bring to the game. Ooh. They're not ready for how I'm attacking them the entire game. So that's when I noticed that.
That's awesome. Now, man, your coaches, they talk about violence all the time. Robert Saleh, Chris Kusaric. What was it like when you first got to talk to your new D-line coach? Tell us what your kind of initial reaction was of Chris, because I don't know how he is on the phone or anything like that, but on the field, that dude's a maniac.
Yeah, once I got the call, I was being drafted by the 49ers. He was one of the first people to call me. He actually FaceTimed me, and I got a chance to fill him out, and he seems like my guy, man. Like, the type of coach I want. He's a violent coach. It sounds like he even talks with violence. You know what I'm saying? He's going to teach with the violence and passion that he loves the game. And that's something I'm so willing to be a part of. I cannot wait to learn and just to kind of learn from all the older guys as well, like how to do that at the next level as well. And I'm just going to bring that violence every day. I approach everything with that when I'm studying film, when I'm taking notes. Like, I do that violence. That's just kind of mindset I get. So I can play with that on the field. But I cannot wait. I could just see the passion and the love he has for the game. And especially when I was talking with him, he wants me to be a dog, and I'm going to come up there and be that for him.
Man, one of my favorite things being out at training camp all the time. at the end of practice every time. It gets a little warm down in Santa Clara, but like you could see Chris's t-shirt. You could wring that thing out. Like he
Hmm.
is drenched at the end of every single practice. And so like I love the competitive nature he brings. You talk about violence. Now, have they like you seem to be very versatile. You
Hmm.
play a lot of one tech, you play a lot of like inside shade, you play a lot of three. Where have they kind of told you, man, we kind of envisioned this for you? What's
Yeah.
that look like?
We haven't really gotten deep into that yet, but I mean, like you said, my film, I can play 1-3. I'm sure that I'll be very versatile for the 49ers as well. I probably can play either position, but you know what I'm saying? We'll kind of get to that point when we do cross that door rookie mini camp. But like I said, I can play any position. I can play one, I can play the three, I can play two I. I'm just gonna go in and be violent with it. And I'm just excited to be a part of this program and this team and just kind of bring what I have to the table.
I love it, man. And one of our biggest supporters, Flynn West, right here, he says, man, I need your jersey. He's a last name West guy, too. Do you
What's up
know
going
when the
on, Flynn? How you
jerseys and all
doing?
that's available and the number selection? Have you started that process?
Man, I don't know. Honestly, I've just been kind of limbo right now, just preparing myself for camp. I haven't even gotten that far. Like, all the stuff that's happening. It's a big change. But I promise you, when all that stuff comes out, I will let it be known because I know there's a couple people who want to support me and grab my jersey, and I would love to be able to do that for everybody. But yeah, I cannot wait until all that comes out.
I love it. So let's
Hmm.
go back to last season in Indiana. One of the games that jumps out, that Michigan game. What was it that made it so personal? Like you just came out, like I mean, it was like a man on a mission. Like what was it about that game that you just had to kind of like go out of body and just destroy that entire offensive game plan?
Um, I don't know. A lot of people might not know, but when I was in the portal, in the transfer portal, Michigan was one of the schools I was looking at, and they were recruiting me and stuff. So we kind of have like personal things there. Nothing bad, no bad blood or nothing. But to me, it was one of those games where it's like this is some great competition, and I got to play them my best and kind of outplay them. Kind of show them like, hey, I am the top dog. Like I know some good, I got some good D tackles, but hey, I'm a good D tackle in this league too. Like don't sleep on me. You know what I'm saying? So that was really one of those games where I just kind of got to kind of show out and really help my team because our defense really did help us win that game, and I was wanted to be one of the reasons why we did succeed that game, and it was just a mentality I came out with. I'm not gonna let nobody stop me, regardless of who's lining up across me, what color helmet they are, what logos on their jersey. I didn't care. I was just coming out to ball.
I love it. So, okay, well, let's go back through that transfer process. You're at Kid State for 4 years. You're dominating.
Hmm.
You open it up. You go through the transfer portal, and like you said, a lot of big time schools were offering you. What made you land with Indiana? Kurt Signetti, awesome job there. Talk us through kind of how that worked out.
Yeah, that's actually a question I've gotten a lot of time. They're like, why did you choose Indiana out of all the crazy offers that I had? You know what I'm saying? I was like, for me, I didn't care about NIL money. I didn't care about how fancy the school was. I didn't care about none of that. I wanted to be around people who were like me, who were similar like me, who had the earn to win. You know what I'm saying? They really wanted to win the gritty team because I played in the MAC. The MAC conference is a gritty conference. Not a lot of people come to games. You play on Tuesdays some days. Like not a lot of people come see it. It's cold. It's yucky weather. You know what I'm saying? And coming to Indiana, when I visited here, I noticed that, if you know anything about a roster, there's a lot of guys who were from the group of five level, from like, JMU, Old Dominion, a lot of Sunbelt schools, smaller schools. Kurt came from Ohio. Um, a lot of guys were like that. And I'm looking at the roster, I'm like, man, these guys are similar to me. They're all guys who were just, doubted. They're underdogs. They're just gritty to win. They didn't care about none of the fancy stuff. They just wanted to win and wanted to work. And when I came in, I was like, man, like a lot of these guys are similar to me, and I really fit in. I loved it. And then also Coach Signetti, he's a very confident person. He was confident in recruiting me, and I'm like, I love his confidence. Like he has a lot of confidence in me. He has a lot of confidence. So I'm like, I believe in this guy. You know what I'm saying? I believe in him. I believe what he's saying, and I believe he can go up there and win. And that's exactly what we did.
Number one run defense, baby.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, how much of that was because that's what 49ers fans are hoping you bring over, right?
Hmm.
Last year, the 49ers, since Kyle Shanahan showed up in 2017, run defense has been a priority. Last year, took a huge back step from kind of what they do. You go out, they draft you, they draft Alfred Collins, they draft Mikael Williams, all these guys that are run stuffers, Nick Martin on the back end.
Hmm.
What is the emphasis for you going into your rookie year? And man, you're a run game stuffer, no doubt about that. That's you're great at that.
Hmm.
How do you take those next steps at the next level to get to that point where look, we're not going to let teams run on us anymore, especially in the goal line.
Yeah, I'm kind of starting off with that. Ever coming into college, my first D line coach, Coach Farrell at Kent State, we prided ourselves on stopping the run. Like I take it personally if a team can run, have more than 100 rushing yards. I take that personally. Like, I remember there was a time and a team kind of did their thing on us in the run game, and I came in. I was like, listen, it's my fault because I solely take that personally. Like I get upset when the team can run the ball on us because that's just a battle of the will at that point when you're running the ball. It's like either I'm going to get past this and not let you run through my gap, or like you're going to beat me, and I'm just not going to let that happen. So it's a battle of the will, in my opinion, and I take it personally when the team runs the ball. But honestly, like when coming into the league, I'm just going to have to play more violently because these are all grown men now. They're all getting paid. They're all professionals. I'm just taking my violence to the next level, snatching off blocks even harder, and striking people harder, and taking my gap quicker and things like that. So that's how I'm going to kind of bring that the run game to the next level. I take it personal. Like I hate when teams run the ball. It really upsets me. It grinds my gears for sure.
Now, I mean, a division opponent, Seattle Seahawks, we don't
Hmm.
like them around here. They spent a first-round pick on a center. So,
Right.
like, you're going to have, man, a heavyweight battle twice a year minimum. Sometimes they
Hmm.
make the playoffs. But, like, dude, like, does that add fuel to the fire? Like, okay, I know my enemy now. And he's a Midwest guy, too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because he can't block me.
Ah!
Nobody's stopping that. I'm not gonna let him block me. That's just like he can't block me. That's my mentality. But I'm excited for that. Like, and I'm just gonna continue to bring that dominance and that urge to stop the run because it's a battle of the will, and I'm gonna outlast other players, and you're not gonna take my will from me. That's what my goal is. So
Oh, I love it. Now,
yeah.
okay, not one but two Hoosiers. You talked about your guy Kurt. Now they
Hmm.
bring over the teammate, the quarterback. Man, what are the 49ers getting in quarterback? Like, he's awesome. He's tough as
Yeah.
hell. What's your take on being a
Oh,
teammate of his last year?
man, Kurt is tough as nails. I have history with Kurt. Me and him played against each other every year at our old school. So I've had a decent amount of run-ins with him. Played him about 5 times in my career. But Kurt is a different bro. He's a guy who's just like he's tough as nails. He don't care about nothing. He's gonna come in and do his job. He's gonna lead by example. He's gonna show everybody like, hey, like you can trust in me. That I can take the offense and I can take the team and be leader of the team and do what I have to do on and off the field, regardless of the situation. He's one heck of a guy, I'll tell you that. And he's just tough and he's got high character. Like he's gonna level up on his teammates when he needs to, say what he needs to say, but he's gonna really lead by example. That's the type of guy he is. And you guys are like getting a dog with Kurt. I promise you that. I mean, you kind of know his history and his backstory, what this past year, like what he's played through, what he had to battle through, and that's just the guy he is. He lives by that every single day. So,
So, okay, you said like he's the lead by example guy.
mhm.
What's your leadership style? Like, what do you bring into the locker room? What's your mindset coming in as a rookie?
Yeah, for sure. I'm a high energy guy. I love hanging around with my teammates. Bringing energy, making people smile. That's like something I really pride myself on because it's a long season, and not every time somebody may wake up in the morning and have the best day. And if my goal is to make somebody smile in the morning and make their day better, then practice goes better. When everybody's in a better mood for practice, we have a better practice, we get more out of it, and things like that. So that's what I pride myself. I'm bringing the energy every single time, and also I'm just gonna show you in practice like, hey, I practice like it's a game. I'm saying? So that's my goal as well.
49ers practice is notorious for the
Mhm.
intensity level. So that's going to be a welcome sight for sure. And man, that defensive tackle room, they added a lot of new bodies. And
Mhm.
so that's going to be fun just the way that it shakes out. When you were drafted, who was one of the first players that you kind of connected with or reached out? And how are those relationships forming? And what's that look like?
Yeah, the biggest surprise, the first person that actually reached out to me was George Kittle. Yeah, and me being a football fan, I was like, there's no way. Like, I just got a DM from George Kittle, but I'm coming to realization like I'm his teammate now. So that's we need to have the relationship to do well. And I was definitely surprised, but he was one of the first people to reach out for me. And I was like, I love that. Like, he's the leader on the team. And he's reaching out to the young guys like, hey, welcome. We're going to be ready to work. And he texted me. He was like, hey, Big Ten, baby. Me, he played at Iowa. He's a Big Ten guy as well. So I'm like, Big Ten. And like, that's kind of connection we're going to have. We both played in the Big Ten. But it kind of shows the culture of the team. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, they're welcoming. They want guys that want to work and they're ready just to win. And that's what I'm ready to do. I'm ready to win.
So John Lynch talks all the time throughout the draft process. They're trying to figure out how much do these players love football? We want guys that love football. So in your meetings with them, which you met with them kind of briefly a few different times, how did the 40 hours go about trying to figure out how much does CJ West love football? Like, what was the process that they went through, questions? How'd they figure that out with you?
Yeah, first off, we watched some of my film, and I'm a guy who, like, after the season, every now and then I'll make lowlights of myself, not just highlights. I also see what I did wrong, and when coming into the our meeting with them, they also put up some clips of me not doing the best, and not everybody's gonna do perfect every single time. That's just the game. Sometimes other person may get the best of you, but that's what they did, and I was like, hey, like this wasn't my best play. This is what I could do better, and I feel like that's when they kind of noticed, like, hey, like he's not just a guy who wants to just do well when it's time to do well. He also admit his wrongs, and he also knows what he did wrong in those situations. And I pride myself on that too. Like knowing what I did wrong, how can I better myself with my mistakes? So I feel like that's when they kind of learned that I love the game. I do, and I'm a student of it.
It comes across, man. And even in your phone call right after you were drafted, like the passion comes across. We love seeing the workout tape that you share and all that stuff. So, real quick, I'm a former teacher and coach myself. Let's go to your past a little bit. Who is a mentor, coach, teacher that kind of went above and beyond that helped you get to where you are today, so we can kind of highlight the village behind the player and some of the positive stuff that's happened in your past?
Yeah, for sure. I've had a couple of them. Coach Tim Rackey and Coach Battaglia. Those are some of my high school coaches, and really got me into loving the game for real. Like got me the passion. And then Coach Farrell, my passing line coach at Kent State, he was also one of the guys that really developed me a ton. I was a young bull coming in, and he really kind of took me under his wing and just really helped me develop and become the player I am today. And then also getting here at Indiana, Coach Kuntz was our D line coach here. He really helped me become a smarter player. Most definitely, really helped me understand the game and formations and what different things teams can do in their in their respective schemes and formations and things like that. So, yeah, there's a lot of people who's really helped me, and I really appreciate that from them.
Dude, that's great. That's great. Okay, it's game day. What is your favorite pregame meal to get
Yeah.
ready, sack the quarterback, stop the run? What's your go-to?
Usually pregame, I'm definitely stuffing myself with protein and carbs. I need all the protein and carbs I can get. I need all the energy. I'm eating chicken, some steak, some noodles, mashed potatoes, anything to kind of fill my body up because it's a long game. So that's probably what I'm eating. I'll throw in some green beans or some broccoli in there too to make it feel healthy. So
I love it. I love it. All right, you're in the weight room. What is your go-to? Your favorite workout activity to do, whether that's squat, bench, whatever.
Mhm.
What is the CJ West staple?
I love bench day. I love bench day.
Chest day, baby.
Yeah.
Is that every Monday? Is that your first day of the week?
Yeah. Bench day is awesome. No, bench day is Tuesday. I squat on Mondays.
All right. All
Bench
right.
day
All right.
bench day is Tuesday. I start the week off with a squat, the gritty day. I start my week off real gritty, and then my favorite day is usually Tuesday. I'll get a good bench in, but yeah, I love bench.
What are we benching? What's our rep workout plan right now? You doing like 5 sets of 4? We go over strength size.
Yeah,
Where are we at in the program?
I'm doing 4 sets of 5 right now.
4 sets of
That's
5.
been my thing. I haven't been going too crazy heavy. I want to make sure I stay healthy, but maintenance, keeping that strength maintained and keeping that that strength there and being ready to just strike somebody when I get to camp.
So speaking of which, from Mike here in the chat, which quarterback are you looking forward to most hunting down? You talked about it earlier. Who is that guy in the NFL that you're like, I can't wait?
That's a tough one. Any quarterback that plays for the Seattle Seahawks.
Ah,
Any quarterback. I don't
perfect.
care who they put on the field. Any quarterback that plays for the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, CJ, you've been so wonderful with your time. We really appreciate it. Last question before we jump out of here.
Mhm.
What do you want the faithful to know about you heading into your rookie year? If it's like these fans look up to you, they're so excited to pull for you and buy your jersey and all that stuff. What do you want them to know about you before the season starts?
I want them to know that, like I said before, I'm a guy of high character. I love being around people. I love, expressing myself and just making people feel happy about themselves, making people feel good. So I'm a guy of high character. I'm going to bring everything I got into the 49ers program. I'm going to give them everything I got. And you'll see my face. I love being around and helping out in the community. So that's something I'm huge on as well. So I'm sure you'll see me around in the community, helping out and trying to make people feel better about their day and themselves. So
Well, I hope your rookie season goes as well as this interview because, you're everybody's favorite pick already. But, man, we're excited to pull for you. CJ, any last thoughts or anything before we jump out of here? Anything you want to convey or put out there?
Only thing I want to say is bang, bang, Niner game. Let's go.
Oh,
Let's go Niners. Yes, sir.
I love it. CJ, thank you so much. We'll be pulling for you all year. And for everybody else out there, stay strong, faithful.